So for those who don't know what a wins draft is,
go through it.
John and I are going to go back and forth and select different NBA teams. We're going to each draft 15 teams. And at the end of the year, we'll see who has accrued the most victories, NBA victories this season.
$10 word.
Based off of the teams that we have selected. So, there'll be some picks like a couple of years ago when we did a wins draft. Chris with his first pick took the Warriors. They won 54 games. They smashed their over. The year before that, I actually think that same year I took the Cavs and was like, I think they can win more than 23 games. Well, they won in the 30s and they won in the 40s and just missed the play-in. They lost. They made the play-in and just lost to the Hawks in the play-in to get the 8th seed. So some of this is basic math. Our over-unders could have predict where we're going to go with this, but we're going to basically the wins that an NBA team will get will be our fantasy points for the season. And we'll see who has the most at the end of the year.
Yes. How are we doing first pick?
You go first, unless you want to do high card.
Do high card.
Let's do high card. Okay, never mind. We go into the lab and turn on our convoluted system of high card draw. I am going to shuffle so you can see. Show me the W. I'm only going to shuffle once on this podcast. Okay, and the high card for John is a 5 with my brother's name on it. You can tell my brother got the 5th pick in our fantasy draft this year. And then my card, after I cut a few times, is a king. Kings. Okay, so I get the first pick.
Are you going to take the Kings with the first pick?
No. Well, so if you remember my over-unders, I took the under on the Kings, so I will not be taking them. I'm taking the Boston Celtics with my first pick.
I was about to say, now we have a game worth of evidence. Yeah, I'm trying to think from a Celtics perspective so I was all over Boston as before the season started, as I thought they would be the team that would come closest to 60 wins. And I there were moments last night where I'm like, oh my God, this team is going to blow away 60 wins if they stay relatively healthy. Last night, and I get the sense that this will, I don't know that this is a problem that has gone away, because this is a team that would get into those places offensively where they would just get not be able to get out of their own way, but just that is not the best shot that you could get on this possession, sir. And that happened a lot last night. And that is why I think it's part of why the Knicks were able to get back in the game. That said, man, and shout out to DJ Zulo, who just put out a thread for Knicks Film School on the Knicks' problems finishing at the rim. Defensively, oh boy, they're going to be good. And offensively, they're going to be. They're a great two-way team. To me, it's the obvious first pick. So yeah.
My only thing to add on to that is, I think a lot of what I thought the Celtics would be, offensively, was part of my calculation for making them my number 1 seed and potential finals pick. Defensively, as you just hinted at, that really stood out to me last night. So they have Drew Holiday now at their point of attack instead of Marcus Smart, which is a hair of an upgrade, but it's still an upgrade. And now they have Porzingis is just a backline rim protector. So even if you get past the first line of defense, and the Drew Holiday, Derek White perimeter backcourt defense is it's why I'm actually kind of curious what the Knicks look like against Milwaukee, because Drew always had Jalen Brunson in jail during those games, just for I should say 2 of the 3 games last year, and now Quickly and Brunson are going to be able to go after Dame Lillard for most of the game. So I'm curious, I know where you might be going with your next pick, but I'm now really curious to see what Milwaukee looks like, specifically that point of attack defense that just now really stood out to me with Boston.
I think they're 2 very different matchups, because I thought Boston, which was a pretty good matchup for the Knicks last year, got to be a harder matchup because of the Porzingis thing, which came to fruition last night, and because adding in Drew Holiday as a guy who could frustrate any guard, including Jalen Brunson, would make Brunson's life harder. but at the same time, like the Knicks do still have the ability to match up at, pretty well with Boston with how their team is composed. Randall is a big part of that, and obviously that didn't come to fruition last night. The Bucks, man, I feel like the Knicks have never been able to stop the Bucks, and they just got Damian Lillard. So, that should be quite the party. Who am I going with here?
I gotta just piggyback. They also lost Drew Holiday. Like, I'm really curious to see, unless we're recording this the day before this pod will have aired, so you will have known by now what the Bucks look like. Maybe they score 150 tonight, and it's like, oh, they're like an elite defense and an elite offense now.
No, but I'm curious to see. I didn't like my chances in either scenario, but I more liked my chances of like, the Knicks could offense could be just good enough to beat that version of the Bucks. Like, they could overcome the Bucks defense enough when they're on offense to, because the Bucks weren't a great half-court offensive team. They're actually a pretty poor half-court offensive team. Now it's like, okay, they'll be able to score more, but how much more do they need to score to overcome what? I don't know what their offense is going to be, but I'd be shocked if it's not top 5. I get 2 picks, right?
No, it's pick 'em. We go back and forth.
Oh, well, that's...
Our listeners are laughing right now because you have asked this every single time.
I know, but I thought maybe different rules for this one. All right. No. Well, I'm not going Milwaukee. I'm going Denver.
Oh.
Which
they looked so good the other night.
What?
They looked so good on opening night.
And they would have been my pick before that game. I think if when you do a draft like this, you have to consider both ceiling and floor. And I think certainly possible Milwaukee has a higher ceiling. You could even tell me you could make arguments a few teams have higher likely ceilings or within the realm of possibility ceilings than Denver, because Denver, will, again, it remains to be seen how much they're going to care about this regular season, and we'll see. But there's no way that team isn't winning 50 plus games. It's not going to happen.
There's 2 things I feel very confident about based off our preseason predictions. One will come up later when the team comes up, and the other thing is that the Nuggets over and that they're my 1 seed will hit. That is a juggernaut that I don't know how many teams are going to be able to stop them this year. They might lose a couple games. The NBA schedule exists, but I don't think we gave our finals picks this yet on the pod, but
I didn't. I wrote it. I have Denver, Milwaukee.
So you have Denver, Milwaukee. I think I'm officially going Denver, Boston, and I think Denver is going to win back-to-back titles. So
I think Denver's going to win back-to-back titles, but I think the Bucks. I'm still favoring the Bucks over the Celtics in a 7-game series, but we'll see. Your pick.
Speaking of, I'll take the Bucks with my next pick.
Yeah. Nothing much to say because they haven't played as of the time we're recording. We didn't talk about the Giannis extension. I think pretty sure Howard Beck, our buddy Howard Beck, my Brooklyn neighbor, wrote something for the Ringer, which I apologize to Howard. I didn't get a chance to read it, but the gist, I believe, is that, like, yes, Giannis tacked on a couple of years. Doesn't mean he still can't, maneuver his way out. To me, the symbolism of him signing on the dotted line after he kind of overtly said, I will not sign on the dotted line just a few months ago, that means more than can he still ask? Of course he could still ask it, but it's not going to be on the forefront of anybody's minds for the next couple of years. Like, he has given the Bucks at the very least, the next 2 years to okay. And then, 2 years from now, he'll revisit it. But 2 years is a long freaking time in the NBA. Okay.